Good evening and welcome to the 68th Reeths-Puffer High School Commencement Ceremony honoring the class of 2026. At this time, the Honor Guard will present our national and state flags. Please remain standing as we honor our country with the singing of our national anthem, performed by the Reeths-Puffer Choir under the direction of Mr. Joshua Danielson.
Darcy, are you okay?
You can
Okay.
also, okay.
Okay.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
The madrigals and members of the senior choir will now perform the Reeths-Puffer Alma Mater.
Reeths-Puffer, we will remember you. Our loyalty is forever true. With you we built a firm foundation. So now we sing our dedication. And as we go our separate ways, we'll always treasure our rocket days. For as life carries us on our own flight, we shall not forget the green and white.
Thank you, RP Choir. Everyone may now be seated. It is now my pleasure to introduce our superintendent, Mr. Steve Edwards, who will introduce our Board of Education and offer remarks for the graduating class of 2026.
Graduates, availability is one of the most important abilities you can have. Those who show up are the ones who get opportunities and the ones who get things done. After that, the ability for you to think again will be essential to your future. And the strange thing is, we're living in a moment where fewer and fewer people seem willing to do just that. Good evening, Board of Education, families, staff, friends, and most importantly, the remarkable class of 2026. We are proud to celebrate this evening with you. It's an honor to stand here on behalf of the Reeths-Puffer Board of Education, President Kim Bramer, Vice President Chris Brooks, Treasurer Alex Keefe, Secretary Joan Vincent, and trustees Pam Turner, Austin Amott, and Corey Johnson, the Reeths-Puffer Board of Education. Graduates, it's not lost on us. Tonight's a milestone. It's a moment that represents years of growth, effort, setbacks, breakthroughs, resilience, and even a few of those, are we really doing this moments. But as we go out into the world, one of the things that you need to know is the world you're going out into is pretty loud. Loud opinions, loud outrage, loud certainty, loud pressure to instantly choose sides, defend positions, and become something before you even know who you are becoming. We're living in a time when people are rewarded for reacting instantly and defending positions or opinions they just formed. Outrage spreads faster than understanding. Certainty gets rewarded more than curiosity. And too many people would rather protect their ego than pursue the truth. Thinking again is becoming rare. But the great news is, because it's becoming rare, it's becoming even more valuable. You know, graduates, society, adults, and it's kind of happened forever, kind of enjoy criticizing your generation. But here's the deal. Many of the habits that adults criticize in young people were modeled by adults first. Your generation did not invent distraction. It didn't invent outrage. It didn't invent comparison or performative behavior. You're inheriting a world full of it. But you also have the opportunity to improve it. You can become the generation that listens better, that thinks deeper, shows more empathy, and has the courage to grow instead of harden. The people who thrive in the years ahead won't necessarily be the loudest, the most polished, or even the smartest people in the world. They'll be the people who remain teachable and coachable. The people willing to pause long enough to ask, what if I'm missing something? What can I learn here? Is there another way to approach this? Thinking again isn't weakness. It's actually intellectual courage. And if you think about it, fortunately, you've been practicing this for years. Relationships changed. Classes got harder. Plans shifted. Friendships evolved. Life surprised you more than once. And yet, you adjusted. You grew. And you figured it out. Every time you rethought your approach, you learned something new about yourself and what you're capable of. But here's the part that people don't often tell you. Growth is intentional. Development is intentional. And success, therefore, is intentional. You don't become better by accident. You become better by paying attention to what matters, practicing on purpose, doing the small things consistently, and choosing effort even when it would be easier not to. Maybe especially when it would be easier not to. Intentional practice beats raw talent. Intentional effort beats perfect conditions. And intentional learning beats ego every time. And eventually, every person faces the same question. Will you use your circumstances as fuel or as an excuse? We all know some people begin life with more advantages, and some begin life with more obstacles. But eventually, everybody has a choice. You can become comfortable or you can become better. You can make excuses or you can make progress. You can stay the same, or you can think again. Because growth is uncomfortable. Growth requires humility. It requires accountability. And it requires the willingness to hear something you might not want to hear. That's difficult in a world where everybody is posting, comparing, reacting, performing, or trying to look certain all the time. But graduates, don't outsource your thinking to the loudest voice in the room. And don't confuse attention with wisdom. And don't allow cynicism to slowly become your personality. Cynicism is easy. Curiosity takes courage. Now, one realistic warning. When you start growing, aiming higher, some people aren't going to react the way you want them to, because some people won't understand your goals. And others, it's because growth has a funny way of exposing those who decide not to grow. Some will wonder, who do you think you are? Let me answer that for you. You're rockets. You were taught to rise. You were built to grow. You're prepared to think again and again and again. Don't let somebody else's comfort ever become your ceiling. And as you walk out of Rocket Stadium tonight, I want you to remember three things. Different moments require different mindsets. Be humble enough to learn, brave enough to adjust, and wise enough to think again. Number two, growth takes intentional effort. One choice at a time, 1 minute at a time, one step at a time. And number three, you get to decide who and what you will become. Not your circumstances, not your setbacks, certainly not social media, and not other people's expectations. You get to decide. I want to leave you with a favorite poem of mine, one that I've shared at a few graduations, and still feels very appropriate for this evening. It's called Still Here by Langston Hughes. I've been scarred and battered, my hopes the wind done scattered. Snow has frizzed me, sun has baked me, looks like they tried to make me. Stop laughing, stop loving, stop living. But I don't care, I'm still here. Class of 2026, in spite of all the obstacles and challenges, you're still here. And now you're ready for what comes next. You're ready to think again, grow with intention, be bold, be curious, be kind, and wherever life takes you, rise as a rocket. And I want to end this with, if you doubt anything I just said about the potential of this generation in this graduating class, I invite you to listen. Not just listen, but hear the next 3 graduate speakers who have a message for you. Thanks and congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Edwards. Senior band members, please come forward and join the band at this time. Thank you, Mr. Harris and our band, for that outstanding performance. It is now my honor to introduce our valedictorian, Molly Matz, to give her valedictory speech.
Good evening, esteemed faculty, parents, families, friends, and most importantly, fellow graduates. Before I begin, I want to give a special thank you to my mom, dad, and sister for always believing in me, cheering me on, and encouraging me every single day. I would not be standing here today without you. For 3 months, my entire world existed on a table in my basement. There were tiny gray bricks scattered everywhere, instruction manuals I treated as sacred texts, and a level of determination only a 10-year-old could possess. This world simultaneously revolved around Wookiees, lightsabers, and a very small green Jedi named Yoda. At the center of it all was a birthday gift, a box of plastic pieces that, according to the image, was eventually supposed to become a Lego Millennium Falcon, which, for those unfamiliar with Star Wars, is basically the most iconic spaceship in the galaxy. My nerdy little self approached the project with an intensity that, in hindsight, was slightly concerning. It was by far the hardest that I had ever attempted, and yet I was completely obsessed. Every piece had a place, and every step showed visible progress. Night after night, the scattered piles slowly transformed into something recognizable. By the time I finally placed the finished ship on the highest shelf in my room, I was unbelievably proud of it. Because when you spend so much time building something, it starts to feel like proof. Proof that your effort meant something. Proof that the hours mattered. Proof that if you worked hard enough and followed all of the right steps, eventually you could create something permanent. And maybe that's why it felt so devastating when it fell apart. A few years later, after collecting an impressive amount of dust and admiration from anyone who walked in my room, one accidental bump sent all 1,329 pieces of that Millennium Falcon crashing to the floor. I still vividly remember the sound, the crack as it shattered, followed by hundreds of pieces scattering in every direction. Just like that, those 3 months of work were destroyed in seconds. All I could do was stare at it, completely heartbroken. Now, logically, this sounds dramatic, but to middle school me, it was catastrophic. I would have done anything to suddenly discover I had Jedi powers and could magically fix what had been broken. Unfortunately, the Force was not with me that day. Looking back now, I realize I wasn't just devastated because the Lego set broke. I was devastated because somewhere along the way, I'd convinced myself that hard work was supposed to guarantee permanence. That if you followed the right steps, put in enough hours, and cared enough about what you were building, eventually you would create something unshakable. But life rarely works that way. Sometimes our plans change. Sometimes the future we imagine for ourselves falls apart completely. Sometimes we realize the goals we once cared about no longer fit the person we are becoming. And sometimes we are left trying to rebuild from pieces we do not even recognize anymore. As I've moved through my time in high school, I started asking myself a question I still don't completely know the answer to. What does it mean to work hard when there isn't a clear definition of enough? The older I've gotten, the more I've begun seeing that question appear in my life. I became the kind of person who constantly went above and beyond, chasing an expectation for myself I could never quite define. And I know I'm not alone in that feeling. I see that same drive every day in my classmates. I see it in the athletes who pushed through grueling practices. I see it in the artists, musicians, and actors who spent countless hours perfecting a single performance. I see it in everyone who stays up till 2 a.m. studying for a test, wondering if the grade on the paper will ever feel like enough. We have all been meticulously building our own versions of the Millennium Falcon, terrified of what happens if it breaks. For a long time, that uncertainty frustrated me. Why work so hard if there's always more that can be done? Why pour so much of yourself into building something when there's no guarantee it will stay exactly the way you imagined it? Strangely enough, I think I found my answer in what I did after the crash. I picked up the pieces, not all at once, and not perfectly, but piece by piece, I rebuilt the Millennium Falcon anyway. It took nearly twice as long the second time. I was left without the numbered plastic bags to sort the pieces, and without a clear idea of where to begin. But even knowing it would take a long time, and that there was no guarantee it would stay standing forever, I built it anyway. So why did I pick up all the pieces? I thought the answer had to do with proving myself, but the answer was much simpler. I rebuilt it because I loved the process. I loved watching the scattered pieces slowly become something recognizable. I loved the challenge, the creativity, and the inevitable experience of dropping a brick on the floor and spending the next 20 minutes crawling around trying to find it. Well, maybe not that last part. Still, maybe that was the point all along. Maybe there was never supposed to be one universal definition of enough. Because if there was one blueprint for what success is supposed to look like, eventually we would all reach the edge of it. There would be nothing left to imagine beyond what had already been decided for us. Instead, we get something much more difficult and much more meaningful: the freedom to decide for ourselves what is worth building. And I think that changes the way we think about hard work. The point is not just to meet expectations or complete some invisible checklist. Sometimes we go beyond the rubric, not because we have to, but because we care enough to. Because there's something deeply human about wanting to create, improve, discover, rebuild, and keep pushing ourselves beyond what is required. And Rockets, tonight we graduate into a world that is going to ask us what comes next. Some of us already have detailed plans for our future. Some of us are still figuring it out. Some dreams we have now will stay with us for years, while others may completely change. That is not failure. That is just life. For the first time in our lives, there is no instruction manual waiting for us anymore. No numbered steps, no picture on a box, no clear definition of enough. That is not something to fear, because that freedom is what makes life limitless. We are no longer the builders of someone else's design. We are the architects. And being an architect means accepting that sometimes the first draft fails, but we won't stop building. We just dust off the blueprints, pick up the pieces, and design something even better. Now, Rockets, we get to decide for ourselves what is worth building. Congratulations, class of 2026. I cannot wait to see what each of us chooses to build next, not because we have to, but because we love to. Thank you.
Thank you, Molly. Next, please welcome our salutatorian, Madeline Horenziak.
Fellow graduates, faculty, family, and friends. Before I begin my speech, I'd like to take a moment to recognize and thank the people who helped all of us reach this day. It truly takes a village to make a moment like this possible. None of us arrived here alone, and I know I would not be standing here before you without the love, guidance, and support of my family, friends, teachers, and everyone who believed in me, even during the moments when I struggled to believe in myself. Thank you for your patience, encouragement, sacrifices, and unwavering faith in who we could become. To my fellow graduates, I encourage you to take a moment today to thank the people who stood beside you throughout this journey, some who are able to celebrate with us in person, and others who we will always remember fondly in our hearts. This achievement belongs not only to us, but also to those who have helped us get here. Now, I'd like to greet you with a quote from a very wise woman. Taylor Swift once said, "Never be so kind, you forget to be clever. Never be so clever, you forget to be kind." Those of you who know me well know that I would never miss an opportunity to quote Taylor Swift. But on a more serious note, she captures an important idea. The idea that two things seemingly opposite in nature can exist simultaneously. Today feels like an ending, but it also feels like a beginning. Some of us are excited, some of us are terrified. Most of us are probably feeling both. If there is one thing I have learned from my time at Reeths-Puffer, it is that we're never meant to fit neatly into a single category. Rockets go beyond the label. We are artists and athletes, leaders and teammates, performers and planners, creative minds and kind hearts. I have seen a remarkable kind of strength within the walls of Reeths-Puffer High School. I have seen it in the students and staff who keep going even on their hardest days. I have seen it in those who choose kindness when it may be easier not to. In the people who are fighting their own battles and still show up for others. You have all taught me that strength is not the absence of emotion. Strength is feeling everything, the fear, the uncertainty, the disappointment, the hope, and moving forward anyway. You can be emotional and still be strong. You can be soft and still be powerful. We grew up being told to be kind, and we listened. We held doors open, we included people, we saw the good. That matters. Kindness changes people. Sometimes it changes the course of a day, sometimes it changes the course of a life. A group very special to me has taught me that long after people forget what you said, they often remember how you make them feel. But as we continue to grow older, we learn something else. Kindness does not mean shrinking. It does not mean staying silent when something feels wrong. It does not mean giving every piece of yourself away until there is nothing left. You can be compassionate and stand your ground. You can have a soft heart and a strong voice. You can be both. There were moments in high school when things felt complicated, when people made assumptions, when it felt easier to stay quiet than to explain yourself, when it seemed like everyone else had life figured out. But the truth is, we were all figuring it out. Every single one of us. Behind every smile was a story. Behind every person was an adversity that we could not see. That is why kindness matters so much, because we never fully know what someone else is carrying. But at the same time, your story matters too. Your boundaries matter, your voice matters. Be understanding of others, but extend that same understanding to yourself. Be generous with your kindness, but protect your peace. Strive for excellence, but understand that achieving perfection is not realistic. Growth is. Trying is. Failing, learning, and finding the courage to begin again is. You can be ambitious and still make mistakes. You can dream big and encounter setbacks. You can be confident and still experience moments of doubt. None of that diminishes your strength. It simply means you're human. As we move forward, we will change. We will meet new people, discover new places, and step into unfamiliar chapters. Along the way, there will be moments that challenge us, moments that ask us who we are and what we stand for. In those moments, I hope we remember this. Never be so kind you forget to be clever. Never be so clever you forget to be kind. Be kind. Be the person who listens, who cares, who shows up. But also be clever. Know your worth. Speak your truth. Walk away when something no longer serves you. Do not lose yourself trying to be everything for everyone else. You are allowed to be whole. You are allowed to be layered. You are allowed to be both. I do not know exactly where life will take us, but I do know that by walking across this stage today, we have already proven something. We have learned, we have grown, we have survived moments we never thought we would, and we did not do it by being just one thing. We did it by being everything we needed to be. Strong and soft, brave and scared, confident and a little clueless. So as we step into this next chapter, I hope we carry that with us. Not just the achievements, not just the memories, but the understanding that we do not have to choose between pieces of ourselves. We can hold them all in a beautiful mosaic. The strong parts, the soft parts, the certain parts, the questioning parts. All of it. Because a full life is not built on being one thing perfectly. It is built on being many things honestly. No matter what paths we will take, or how many times we will have to start over, know this. We are capable. We are resilient. We are more than any single label we have ever been given. We will always be rockets. And whatever comes next, we will meet it with kindness and courage, with grace and strength, with open hearts and unshakable voices. Not one or the other, but both. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2026.
Thank you, Madeline. Now elected by her classmates to represent the graduating class, please welcome Sophia Ross.
Beloved friends, family, staff, and class of 2026 graduates, I'd like to begin my speech tonight with a story. A few days ago, I had a picnic with my 5-year-old self. We met in the grassy field of a nearby park on the sunniest day of the week. She wore a red and pink polka dot dress with white sandals, picked out by my mother, no doubt. Sophia rushed over to me, squealing and singing with excitement. She gave me a big hug and plopped down on the grass, beaming with a familiar smile. "Where have you been? I haven't seen you in a million years," she giggled. I smiled softly and gave her the usual excuse. Senior year has been pretty chaotic. Between important deadlines, choir concerts, family and friend commitments, and preparing for college in the fall, I simply haven't had the time. I'm sorry. She seemed a bit puzzled by my answer, and I could sense that I may have used too many words that weren't in her vocabulary yet. So I quickly changed the subject and asked her how kindergarten was going. Her face lit up as she told me about the books she's read, her teacher, her favorite song to sing at carpet time, her favorite color crayon, and much more. She told me about her best friends and her secret boyfriend, and begged me not to tell our mom. I assured her her secret was safe with me. She told me countless magical stories she created in her head, and I could have listened to her for hours. After playing pretend and laughing until our stomachs hurt, she asked me about high school. I told her how it's definitely had its challenges, but through those challenges has provided me with unforgettable memories, loving friendships, and transformational life lessons. I told her about the wonderful combination of waking up early and going to bed late, taking AP classes, participating in every play and musical that I could, and staying afloat amidst the inevitable sea of high school drama. She listened intently to every story, whether it was a joyful memory or a moment of struggle. We laid on our backs and imagined the shapes within the clouds, and in that moment, I realized how free it felt to be with her. For the first time in a long time, I felt like I could do anything, go anywhere, be whoever I wanted to. I felt like a 5-year-old again. After finding our third unicorn within the clouds, I turned to her and asked, "If you could be anything when you get older, like me, who would you be?" She grinned, knowing her answer with absolute certainty. "I want to be someone who makes people feel loved. I want to change the world by singing songs and helping sick people and making sure everyone knows that they're special. Also, being a fairy princess wouldn't be so bad either." I laughed a little at that last part, but found myself completely stunned by her selflessness. In a moment where I expected her to want fame or popularity or money, she wanted to impact others. She didn't long for a path that only benefited her, but one that could bless everyone she encountered. She was so sure in her dreams that I began to believe her too. Every "I want" sounding more like an "I will." This moment caused me to wonder. I wondered how I had lost sight of this beautiful, smart, compassionate, and brave girl who had no reason to be insecure of her dreams. I wondered when I decided to listen more intently to what the world thought of me, rather than listen to the only girl who truly knows who I am. Class of 2026 graduates, before we were star athletes, scholars, artists, and employees, we were children. We believed that we could do anything that we set our minds to before society taught us that dreaming is foolish. We longed to care for every person we encountered equally before vengeance and jealousy corrupted us. We learned to write our own names before our reflex was to compare ourselves to others. We were unique, silly, awkward, and most importantly, genuine. And I predict that somewhere between then and now, you have felt pressure to grow up or grow out of this person that you once were. Whether the reason was peer pressure, fear of others' opinions, family struggles, societal pressures, or simply forgetting to nurture your inner child. But no matter your individual story, there is good news. One of the most important mentors in my life once told me this: we have always been who we will always be. Now, this isn't to say that we are not capable of growth or transformation, because we are. It's rather the fact that in every difficult or triumphant season, throughout every year of our life, from now until forever, that still small voice within us, reminding us of who we truly are, will always remain. Even when social media trends pass and friendship dynamics shift, there are parts of us that are immovable. Parts that have been engraved within the foundation of your life since the beginning. That passion that you can't live without. That song that immediately causes you to dance. That personality trait that you've tried to hide, but actually makes you even more beautiful. And so, future Reeths-Puffer alumni, in this next season of our lives, where it seems everyone around us has a different opinion of what we should and shouldn't do, I implore you to take it back to the beginning. Be as daring as you were when you were little. Be the first to love loudly and choose empathy, even when no one else will. Dance through your life with boldness, no matter if anyone watches or not. And before you rush to quiet parts of yourself for the sake of fitting in, think about the person you were before society told you to change. Think of your 5-year-old self, and I think you'll discover that they have never fully left you. They've just been playing hide and seek. Congratulations to the class of 2026, to every version of us. I hope that just like me, you too will meet again with your 5-year-old self soon. I know they'll thank you for it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sophia. The principal's address will now be given by Mrs. Jennifer Anderson.
Congratulations, graduates. I'm so thankful that I get to be here tonight to share this moment with all of you. Tonight, we celebrate more than just a graduating class. We celebrate a group of individuals whose stories are marked by hard work, laughter, challenge, and growth. Some of you I've known for many years, even since birth, and others I've had the privilege of getting to know during your time at RPHS. No matter the path, each of you has arrived at this moment through effort, determination, and support of those around you. I want to take a minute to say thank you, teachers, counselors, coaches, office staff, custodians, paraprofessionals, bus drivers, food service workers who have created spaces where students feel challenged, supported, and seen. Your fingerprints are all over this moment. If you could join me in thanking staff tonight. Thank you also, the stands are full. Thank you to the parents and guardians who stayed present during both the long nights and the rushed mornings. Thank you for your encouragement through all the highs and the lows. This journey does not happen alone, and tonight reflects that shared effort. Let's thank our parents and guardians. Most importantly, thank you, students. Tonight is about you, not just what you've accomplished, but who you have become in the process of getting here. I want to take a moment to also thank our veterans. Thank you for your service and sacrifice. Freedom creates the possibility for gatherings like this one, for schools, communities, conversations, and futures. I'm going to ask veterans to please stand and stay standing while we announce all of our graduates that have chosen to enlist in the military. Graduates, or veterans, if you could please stand. Graduates, please stand and stay standing when I call your name. Julia Darling, Navy. Ashton Schley, Army. Michael Moschke, Navy. Ivan Garcia, Army National Guard. And Arman Murechtahich, Army. Let's give them one last round of applause. Thank you, students and veterans. You may be seated. Graduates, before I say anything meaningful tonight, I need to admit something first. I am somebody who regularly sends text messages that make perfect sense in my head and significantly less sense once autocorrect gets involved. Some of you know. Maybe you type college and it changes it to collage, which is really not a big deal. Or you type somebody's name and your phone confidently replaces it with the name of the person that you text most often. You send the message quickly, and suddenly what you meant to say sounds either deeply confusing or mildly concerning. And the strange thing is, autocorrect is often very confident while being wrong. But that's because autocorrect doesn't understand you, it predicts you. It looks backward at patterns and makes the best guess about what's going to come next. You've probably noticed this already, but autocorrect doesn't really know what you meant. You can type something very simple, something clear, something that in your mind carries a very specific intention, and then suddenly it changes it. Not because it misunderstood you on purpose, not because it's trying to challenge you, but because it's doing something much more ordinary. It's predicting. It chooses the most likely version of your sentence. At first, that feels harmless, sometimes even a little funny. We've all had those moments where a message goes out and immediately you think, no, that is not what I meant to send. But there's something worth noticing in those small moments of correction. Because autocorrect isn't just fixing spelling, it's shaping meaning, quietly, constantly, and without asking. And if you zoom out a little, it starts to feel like something we experience in other parts of our lives as well. Sometimes people do it. They meet you in one moment, one version of who you are, and they start to predict the rest of the sentence from there. They decide what kind of student you are, what kind of person you are, what your story is likely to be. Sometimes systems do it, labels do it, expectations do it, and eventually we start doing it to ourselves. We take a moment from our past and we start using it as a shortcut to our future. And the tricky part is that prediction often feels like clarity. It can feel like being understood. But sometimes what's actually happening is that something incomplete is being treated like something finished. And that's where I think autocorrect becomes more than just a phone feature, because it raises a quiet question about all of us. What happens when a version of your sentence gets accepted before you ever had a chance to finish it yourself? And maybe, even a little more importantly, what happens when you start believing that version? That's where life gets complicated. Because once a prediction gets repeated enough times by others, by systems, and by circumstances, it can start to feel like definition, like certainty, or like identity. But prediction is not the same thing as truth. Prediction is based on what is likely, what has already been seen, what's already been done, what has already been assumed. But who you are becoming is not limited to what has already happened. There is a difference between what is likely and what is real. And there is a difference between what gets assumed about you and what you actually choose to become. And the difference matters more than it might seem right now. Because graduation, right now, has a way of inviting predictions. Grade point averages, rankings, comparisons, test scores, career pathways, and decisions. And while those things can be useful, they can also quietly suggest something that isn't fully true. That a meaningful life is something you can accurately predict in advance. People will ask you what comes next. What college are you attending? What career? What trade? And those are normal questions. There isn't a possible answer that fully captures who you are yet. They are not definitions, they are only directions. Early versions of a story that you are still writing. The measure of this graduating class is not in having every answer tonight. It is the willingness to keep growing, keep learning, and keep becoming. Some of you will change majors. Some of you will change careers. Some of you are going to discover that you have talents that you do not even know you possess right now. Some of you will build lives completely different than you're imagining right now. And that isn't failure. That is what it looks like to be human. Not a sentence to be predicted, a life still being written. Class of 2026, don't let the world auto-correct you. Don't allow assumptions, labels, or predictions to become your definition. Say what you mean, become who you are, and trust that your original message was worth sending. And you remember that what you are becoming is always connected to people who helped you get there. Take a minute and look around. Seriously, look around. You are surrounded tonight by a community that believes in you, supports you, and is so proud of you. At this time, I'm actually going to ask the alumni in the stands if you guys could please stand. Any RP alumni, please stand. Class of 2026, take a look around. You are now part of a larger community of individuals who have walked the halls and gone on to make their mark in the world. Alumni, thank you so much for being here tonight and continuing to support our students. Thank you, alumni. Let's give them one last round of applause, and then you may be seated. Thank you, community. Again, class of 2026, we are so proud of you. To the Board of Education, as principal of Reeths-Puffer High School, I certify that the graduates seated before you tonight have met all requirements you have set before them and have earned their high school diploma. To you, I present the class of 2026. Congratulations.
Madeline Ray Horenziak. Molly Matz. Danica Joy Johnson. Abby Marie Hill. Madeline Jolie Smith. Phineas Dracos Xavier Strickler. Keegan Darcy Cerrito. Carter Christopher English. Charlie Ray Bellinger. Bailey Renee Boland. Caden Thaddeus Vanderlaan. Lola Jane Cheryl Linda Sapone. Braden Ross. Beckett Mathis. Sophia Roseanne Cole. Isabel Marie Cole. Olivia Carol Smith. Ethan James Frang. Jersey Marie Bielek. Mallory Lynn Messer. Jalen May Aker. Liam Benjamin Copenhaver. Charlie Jean Weicham. Alyssa Lynn Alexander. Addison Marie Eek. Madeline Marie Alvarado. Hunter Alviar. Destiny Nicole McKinney. Waylon Kevern. Connor Anderson. Tristan Anderson. Bryson Baker. Chloe Elizabeth Parker. Morgan K. Appleton. Landon Vanderkooy. Jackson Kai Baldus. Carly Jean Bartels. Connor Michael Bartels. Noah Heaven Bowder. Kyle Robert Singleton. Caden Benner. Cohen Beck. Riley Beebe. Tanner Jack Barr. Alexander Lucius Loomis. Wesley John Blazer. Carter Heckema. Carson Bowschool. Carly K. Bowen. Marin Sue Peterson. Ashley Yvonne Bradley. Onni Hutala. Evan Michael Brandenburg. Christian Michael Verhoeven. Trent Branham. Huck Van Dyke. Kathleen Brower. Tyler Wishman. Carson McCollum. Christian Brown. Malia Jade Carr. Addison Murray Elwell. Danny Liliana Casano Thomas. Zachary Carnero de Sosa. Justin Chan. Laney Ray McDaniel. John Chilomo. Thaden Reed. Christina May Christensen. Milo Anthony Michael Sapone. Jeffrey Church. Landon Joseph Pardon. Sarah Carlson. Keely Cole Cox. Olivia June Coles. Elaine Rose Patterson. La Ciencia Lachey Bouchard Hernandez. Kira Cook. Jackson Helfrey. Anthony Kuhn. Kamari Cornelius. Brooke Marie Mulder. Isabella Lettle. Sophia Corradi. Jeremiah Costanzo. Addison Heiner. Zayden Hilliard. Jaden Crampton Hutchison. Alexis Haley Bridges. Cheyenne Lee Cressman. Liliana Grace Cruz Castañeda. Jeremy J. Marvin Jr. Madeline Rose Curtis. Faith K. Bayless Darland. Mason Lewis Dark. London Xavier Rankin Moore. Julia Rose Darling. Andrea Ray Marshall. Dominic Dieter. Aiden Nash. Avery Bitely. Braxton Dietz. Michaela Taylor Disselkoon. Mariah Lynn Hillen. Bella Dostert. Caitlin Russell. Caitlin Rain Duro. Emmy Lee Suelto. River Lily Sias. Kira Delaney Erickson. Jacelyn Leanne Vanderberg. Alicia May Ruthann Fawcett. Grayson Fortier. Grant Kaliza. Caleb Fowler. Dylan Sturr. Alexandra Lene Franklin. Alyssa Summer Filippo. Ashlyn Rose Frazine. Cheyenne Lee Michael. Mara Furman. Olivia O'Neill. Ethan Andrew Tenbrink. Ivan Garcia. Marissa Lathrop. Dorico Griggs. Juliana Gedman. Avery Mosher. Ava Catherine Gibbs. Taylor Leanne Long. Braden Andrew Gibson. Jera Whistler. Caitlin Ziana Gorenflow. Alexandria Ray Lawrence. Corinne Griffin. Benjamin S. Cunnin. Manuela Freire Lugon Hibero. Mariah Layla Griggs. Sage Grimm. Kylie Renee Reiner. Ella Joyce Hardy. Morgan Lene Huddleston. Samuel Lee Heragers. Aiden Charles Mrotz. Renato Pessoa. Jesus Hidalgo. Riley Homily. Javelin Rudisil. Michael Lee Jones. Xander Willard. Maxwell Knowlton. Cornelius Judd. Lorelei Kirsting. Nicole Mulder. Alex Kieft. Braulio Ramos. Trent Plummer. Blake Anthony Keel. Kieran Elijah Koenig. Ella Marie Jordan. Maddie Wilbur. Sam Ray Kroll. Sophia Arcelia Kroll. Brooke Anave Vargo. Josiah Emery Bazzani. Landon Kaburski. Flavia Perugia. Gabriele La Rosa. Michaela Sharp. Emma Lamphere. Orion Lance. Taylon Tufts. Hope Mary Latch. Sophia Marie Wathen. Jayla Shea Roselle Hall. V. Lay. Abigail Mashinsky. Cadence Rettenhouse. Savannah Mae Mancha. Emily Ray Bishop. MC McLaurin. Marvin Moore Jr. Blake Miller. Amani Danye Starr. Callahan Millis Babcock. Landon Wagner. Vaughn Simons. Julian Mogelski. Madison Jean Morse. Anna Marie Stowers. Zayden Schneider. Michael Moschke. Armand Antonio Murechahich. Kira Mackenzie Ranum Kaminsky. Brody Garrett Weinsma. Mykola Natupski. Robert Bryce Shaver. Garrett Wayne Oliarchek. Hayden Joseph Pell. Philip J. Burmeister. Kira M. Poindexter. Harley E. Yancey. Constantine Daniel Poulis Siegel. Parker Jean Vanderwall. Michaela Nicole Rendulik. Lydia Ann Tufts. Kiana Amari Rem. Chelsea Rosenkrantz. Jack Yonkman. Owen Benjamin Ritzema. Zachary Allen Kurth. Jacob James Rozicki. Maddie Schramer. Lacey Robbins. Hudson Roberts. Miley Coleman. Sophia Elise Ross. Claire Francis Bishotti. Andrew James Cordine. Macy Addison Rudholm. Cameron Virginia Reich. Michaela Lee Smith. Chloe Jolene Salazar. Madison Elizabeth Willett Holman. Kayla Santillanes. Ashlyn Cortland. Ashton Anita Schley. Jaden Elizabeth Wilbur. Taylor Ray Schley. Emily Renee Boss. Scarlett Ash. Aliana Sear Rapp. Carson Sima. Renoa Rain Chevalier. Arvid Sias IV. Aiden Little. Adrian Ann Smith. Michaela Lee Smith. Annika Lynn Sosha. Kat Ruth King. Keith Sherrill. Travis Thalen. Michael Clay Spencer. Richard Dean Spencer. Jackson Daniel Stroop. Devin Aziz Welch. Ethan Voskill. Lana Ray Tangney. Journey and Louise Westra. Maya Vandenbosch. Micah Joseph Walder. Landon Frazier. Keaton Warwick. Chloe Tima. Dahani Welsh. Corbin Wilkes. Jeffrey Vanderstelt.
At this time, I would like to invite the senior class president, Madeline Herenziak, to the stage for the turning of the tassel.
to remember the pain of today. On June 20th, we have
Thank you for celebrating this incredible milestone with us. Congratulations again to the class of 2026. We are so proud of you, and we wish you the best on your next chapter. This concludes our ceremony.
We wheel the racks over here so we don't have to walk the chairs as far.